Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to try to talk a little fast because my videos run long, got a lot of stuff to squish in. But if you're new here to the channel, what we focus on is basic emergency preparedness. Then we run to practical preparedness, which is there's a wide variety of things there. And then we touch on sometimes worst case scenarios. You'll also find my videos are kind of low budget and they should be edited better, but the information is sound. I hope you find that the information is sound. Yes, if you've been here for a while, then you should know all these things are true. So, starting off on this video, I got some stuff sitting here, so I'm going to go over it real quick. We're going out of order. And so stick with me through this. There's going to be a whole bunch of information, but I'm going to do this really fast because I got to get it off the counter so that I can bring other stuff up here to show you guys. Yes? Yes. Okay, what I did was I did a little project for people that are in the preparedness world or preppers or whatever words you want to put to it. There's like little project-y things. It's almost like a list of stuff that people do. You know what I'm saying? And so it was on my list to do. It's a funny little thing, but it was on my list of things to do, and I finally did it. And so what it is it is basically a homemade alcohol stove. Now you guys can look into how alcohol stoves work and the science behind it with the little jets that come up. It's physics, blah, 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 blah. Not the point. The point is I did it. And don't mind that it's actually made out of beer cans. No, I don't really drink, and I definitely really rarely drink beer, but I use it in my fertilizer. Yeah, that's a whole nother story we'll get to it some other time. But I actually made one. You guys see this? Yeah. And I have a little video I'm going to clip in. It's a terrible video, but I just did it real fast. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, hopefully my editing skills, you guys just saw it. I don't know. We'll wait because this is the way I shoot videos. But you should have seen that I had done it. You guys, if you've been here a while, you've seen this before. I'm probably going to get soot and stuff. Look, soot all over me. This is my oldest little campy stove. I've shown you guys this before. It looks terrible. Put it up there. It's all nasty. But you should have seen. Sorry, guys. Edit your videos better, Rick. No, I told you that that's how it is. You guys should have seen that it was burning down inside that. It actually fits in there. Yes? Kind of cool. And put that back. And then something else in my camping stuff. If you guys have seen one of these before, you guys seen one of these? And it can be used with multiple stuff, little alcohol stoves that you can buy, those little Bunsen-y burner things that you put under warmers. Well, guess what? Oh, minute's almost up. This, you guys can see this. I'm gonna have to show you really fast. The alcohol stove fits in there too. Yes? Yes. All right, guys, just give me a little bit. I'm going to clean all this up, and then we're going to go to something, again, basic emergency preparedness. And the reason I'm squishing this video in, man, I'm so busy. I hope you guys are all busy too. But the reason I'm squishing this in is because of, what was it? I don't think she's a hurricane anymore. Hurricane Hillary. On the West Coast, it's going up Baja, California. And Los Angeles or Southern California hasn't had a tropical storm warning in like 80 something years. So basically 90% of everybody down there has never dealt with this before. So my guess is that there's probably a bunch of people down in like Southern California and what was it, like Arizona, Nevada, that area, that really haven't looked into emergency preparedness when it comes to something like that. So I figure we'll go over some basic stuff. For those of you who are returning, this will be like a reaffirmation or whatever. You've probably seen it before, but then we're going to go over a few other things. But that's the main reason I'm making this video. Yes? Yes. Okay, basic emergency preparedness. I hope you guys don't mind the little alcohol stove thing. It's just, you got to do things with your hands. You got to learn how to do things. You got to see how things work. That's how I do stuff. I'm a hands-on person where you learn how to do stuff. That's what that was for. And so I appreciate your patience with me showing you guys that. I thought it was good, but it doesn't matter. All right, basic emergency preparedness. If you're new here, if you're looking around, if you have like this tropical storm coming at you and you don't exactly know what to do, well, my recommendation is this. Some people may argue, it doesn't matter. This is the way I do business. Is this checklist. You go to ready.gov or you go to FEMA and you're gonna come up with the same thing. And that's what I'm gonna go by because Everyone has their own opinion, but you need to start with something. Yes? That's the way I see it. So that's what we're going to go by. We're going to run down it real fast. I'm sure if you've been here for a while, you know what's on there. Again, it's going to be reaffirmation. I'm going to do it as quick as I can. So hopefully this video doesn't make people dizzy. Yes? Yes. Very first thing on the list, and then on most people's list, is water. Water and non-perishable foods for at least a couple of days. But let's start with water, guys. Again, I'm going to go fast. If you are in the path of this, or basically any time, this is basic emergency preparedness, guys. But if you're in the path, these are things you need to get. If you're not already getting this information from your local news, if you're not getting it from anywhere else, try to get it if you can, because odds are electricity is going to go out. There's going to be winds and rain and storms, and people are going to run into a friggin' telephone pole or whatever. You guys with me on this? So water, I have different ones over here. I don't care. These are just so people recognize. You can get these at any of these. You can get them at your local Walmart. You can get them at your local store. I get nothing off these guys. I'm just showing you. Now, they say you need 1 gallon of water per person per day. People argue about it. I'm not going to. Just get as much water as you can to last you a few days. Yes? Yes. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, there's a couple other items here. Again, these are available at Walmart. I have quite a few of these. They're stackable. And then I don't know if you're going to have a chance to get it, but sometime in the future, I've gone over this before. It's a water bob. Yes? Now, there's a couple different names out there. This one comes with a nice little pump, if you guys can see it. Basically, it is a huge bag. You put it in your bathtub. You fill it up with water. Most of them are a one-time shot. You fill it up with water. It's got a little pump. And then if the water goes out, you can literally pump the water out of this bag and drink it. Yes? That's up to you. I don't know where you are. I don't know what your level of preparedness is, but these are just some things I'm throwing together real quick to give you guys some ideas. Water. Yes? Yes. Okay, next on the list is non-perishable foods, and at least for a few days. Now, if your power goes out, the first thing you should be eating is what's in your fridge, leftovers, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. Get rid of that food, yes? And most people have at least a little food in their house, so you're going to have something. But just in case, basic emergency preparedness, some people might say practical preparedness, but this is basic emergency preparedness, and it says have non-perishable food for at least a couple of days. If you can't get it now, get it for next time, because once something happens, it will happen again. Yes? And you can use it for other things. Some examples really fast. MREs, guys, you don't need nothing with this. If you want to heat it up, you're going to need a little water. These you're going to need water with. These are dehydrated foods. Everyone has their own brand that they want to go with. And then you can also get packs. Look, 72 hours. It's got breakfast, lunch, and dinner in it. You're always going to hear people say, or edit your videos better, Rick, complain about the taste or what kind it is and blah, 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 blah. That's not my thing. My thing is get it. Yes? Yes. Well, here's something that doesn't happen all the time. My video got interrupted. Yes, the lovely lady in my life. And this is an excellent example. I'm going to use this as a teachable moment of real life. The lovely lady in my life, her mother, Carol, I've mentioned her before, her glasses, the little screw had come undone, and I'm sure somebody's thinking, oh, you just tighten it down. No, that is not the way. And one of the words or sentences I hate to hear in life is when people go, well, all you got to do is, oh, I hate that, because that is not how real life is. Because I don't know if you guys know the glasses, they got little springs in them so that the little things close. And let me just do this real fast. Wire, a magnetic table, a flashlight, wire cutters, 2 different kinds of flatheads. There was a reason for that. I put this on the table so stuff doesn't disappear so you can see it. A file, another screwdriver, and my readers. And 30 minutes. That's how long it took to fix it. But I did. You have to do stuff. Yes, this is life. Now, if there's somebody out there that works on eyeglasses all the time, what is it? You know if you know. You know what I'm saying? Why I had to do that. If you haven't, then it would take a long time, guys. It's just the way. But again, a life lesson. Have the stuff to do it. Be able to improv. You have to do stuff, okay? I can't, it won't, and I quit. Bad things. Take them out of your vocabulary. Eventually, you'll take them out of your mindset, and you'll be able to do stuff. And so it was a tiny little thing, but it's an example of things that you may have to do. If nothing else, it's a teachable moment. taught me how to do it, although I've done lots of things like that before. But if you figure out what 2 + 2 is, you can figure out what 2 + 3 is. And anyways, life lesson, do stuff. Yes, because we could have always taken it up to the optometrist and let them fix them. But now I know how to do it. Yes, real life. Yay. Now I know this video is like bouncing around, but this is the way it is, guys. This is real life. Yes. And I'm going really fast. Let me catch on a couple of things. When it came to water, you didn't have to use those things. I drink soda. You could take old soda bottles and fill them up with water and save them. Yes. And when it comes to food, I'll probably do another video on it, because some people are going to critique like the types of food I have. Some are like, oh, that one tastes good. Oh, that one tastes terrible. And this and the other thing. I'll do a video on the psychology, and it'll actually bring in cultural anthropology. What the hell, Rick? Those are big words with lots of syllables. Yeah, I know. I actually took that class once, and I scored very well because I needed to learn about people. So about eating stuff and stuff that might not taste good. Trust me, we'll do another video on that. All right, back to this list. The next two things on the list, the first one is extra cell phone batteries and chargers. I don't know people that carry around little extra cell phone batteries. That's kind of funny. It's on their list. But I do know people that have power banks. Yes? And, whoa, edit your videos better, Rick. Did you guys see that? I almost dropped this thing. Power banks, I went over this one before. They can be used for doing phones. And cell phone chargers. People have them. And if the power goes out, you say, well, I can't use them. So you have power banks. But let's go with the next one. The next one is one of these, a radio. That, you guys remember these? I've done this before. The kind that you hand crank, and it picks up NOAA stations. It's also a flashlight, but you can also charge your cell phones. I tried it, guys. It's difficult. I didn't really get a charge. We talked about that before. There's some video. I don't know if I'm going to put it there, but this is the next thing on the list. Radios that can get NOAA. Yes? Yes. Now, it doesn't have to be like this. I think this thing is cool because it gets regular radio. It's hand cranked. It's solar chargeable. It gets NOAA. You can charge things with it, and if nothing else, all else fails, whoop, it has a flashlight, which apparently I haven't charged this thing up enough. Guys, edit your videos better, Rick. Nope, not going to. You guys just seen. I cannot turn on the flashlight because it's not charged enough. You guys got to make sure your stuff's taken care of, yes? Especially if something's coming. I wonder how long it would take. Oh, it says it's charging. I wonder how long this thing would take for me to actually get the flashlight to work. Anyone? Rick, you're going to improv? Oh, look, it works. Yay. In case you're wondering why I leave bad edits, like me dropping stuff and little lights and stuff not coming on, is because what I try to show in these videos is real life. I'm an average Joe. These things are probably going to happen to you. They happen to me. And these videos that show everything just working perfect, I'm just like, that's not the way. And it doesn't show people how in the moment to try to mentally overcome those things. It's just the way I do business, guys. If you don't like it, you can go to the pretty channels. Yes? Yes. So next thing on the list, flashlights and extra batteries. You guys know I have lots of flashlights. I have flashlights in drawers and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if you guys can see it. Is it off screen? I want to point. You see all these batteries up here, and over here, right there, that is a battery charger, and I have rechargeable batteries on it at all times. I also have this. You guys can't see this. This is another battery charger. However, instead of plugging that one in, it actually works off a USB port. So I can actually hand crank or use solar chargers, or that's what I have. You guys probably just want to get, and I have regular batteries up here too, flashlights and batteries. Yes? Yes. Now for the remainder, I don't think I need examples for you guys, but so we're going to run them down real quick because this video is getting long. And it's a first aid kit, which you guys know I have, but hopefully every house has one, basic emergency preparedness. A whistle to signal for help. I have one right there. I have one right there. I have them in my bags. A dust mask to help filter contaminations, plastic sheeting, and duct tape to shelter in place. That's like to cover up windows. In the case of these storms, that's in case your windows break, you can do it so that way the house isn't damaged as much. And moist towelettes, garbage bags, plastic ties for personal sanitation. Yeah, if you've never been in a situation where you can't take showers and toilets don't work, then yeah. Non-sparking wrench or pliers to turn off the utilities. Hopefully, basic emergency preparedness. Everyone knows. If you don't, you need to figure it out how to turn your utilities off outside. Mostly I'm talking about the gas, if you're with me on this one, and water, and your electrical box, if you know how to turn that off too. Now, I know if this is your first time here, first time looking at emergency preparedness because something's about to happen to you or you're just getting interested in it, these may seem like a lot of things and a little overwhelming. There's a basic, there's steps that need to be taken. I'm going over it fast because these are things you guys hopefully are printing this off if you get a chance, or you're going to watch this video and write this stuff down. But these are things you have to learn how to do in case of an emergency. Yes, I say have to. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it. And so does FEMA, the government. You know, the government only recommends like this much, and when you need this much. So if it's recommending it, you definitely need to put this stuff on your list. And then we go with a can opener. If you're opening canned foods, hand cranked can opener. Please, everybody have one. And then finally, local maps, which most people don't have. Why? Because they have a cell phone. I have local maps. So this is their basic list. This is what the government says. There's a secondary list that has to do with like prescription medications and stuff for children. But that's the basic list. That's the basic place you need to start. All right, guys, if you're new to this, I know that may seem a little overwhelming. I'm doing it really fast. My video is all like needs to be edited better and I jump from thing to thing. This is the way. Sorry, but the information is still valid. If you've been here a while, you've seen that list before, you should have those things. You with me? But the situation that's happened in California, that's the reason I put that into this video. That's the reason I'm making one, even though I'm like really busy. I got a few other things. Just because I'm making this video, I'm going to go ahead and squish some more stuff in. Yes? Yes. Okay, for you guys that have been here before, I'm not going to put a video up there. I'm not sure because I go over lots of things in lots of videos and I'm going to point it out. But I talked about organics and how it takes a long time to get organic stuff to work versus chemicals. But I don't think I touched on one of the things that always comes into my mind, and I should translate it to people. When I talk about organics, it's also doing things by hand. That's another reason why it takes a long time. If you look at how to get rid of like certain pests and stuff, there's a lot of hands-on things you do. When it comes to getting rid of weeds, if you want to do it organically, weeds, usually you're out there pulling them. I go through my yard every day. I walk it because I have a dog. If you know, you know. And I am pulling up weeds every day. And the more my soil through organics is getting better, not necessarily the plants, which is a byproduct, they'll get better because of my soil. Weeds grow too. And it is a constant struggle. Instead of spraying poisons, you got to get out there with your hands. So when I say from now on, if you guys are going to hang out, when I say doing things organically, one of them is doing things by hand. That's another reason why it takes so long. That's another reason why people don't want to do it, because people want to sit in their house. No offense to people, but this is not a person, but people in general. They want to be in their house. They want to relax. They don't want to, and it takes work, and it's constant, day after day after day. It's a grind. Yes, I'm just being honest with you guys. I'd rather just sit in my house and binge watch Netflix or something, but I'm out there every day because I decided to take this course. I decided, no one's making me. Yes, and I'm not going to make anybody else. So, and I learned some other things. I don't know if I told you guys. I got sunflower seeds, which I've never grown before. And this has to do with nature and stuff. Did you know they attract wasps or yellow jackets or whatever the heck you want to call them? And I don't like them, but it attracts them. It's one of the things you have to deal with when you're gardening and doing different plants. And I hope there's a lot of good coming from these sunflowers because, yeah, wasps, don't like them. Supposedly, sunflowers also attract other bugs, and one of them is like really good for, it attracts a bug that is really good about eating other bugs. That's one of the reasons why I put sunflowers out there, besides to see if I could actually grow them, which is what I do with everything. But apparently it attracts a bug that, a good bug that like goes after the other bugs. So again, organics, that's another thing, is using plants to attract good bugs, to do this, to do that, instead of spraying stuff with chemicals. And God only knows what's going to happen to you in 5 years from doing it. Try to do everything organically, and it takes time, and it's like confusing. There's like these puzzles and stuff. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm letting you know what you're going to have to go through if you do it. And what else? Oh, but some good news is I had like a thing of ladybugs. Yeah, on the ferning, what the heck is it called? I'll think of it here in a second. But one of my plants decided there decided to be a ladybug colony there, and made me very happy. Asparagus. That's the answer. If you guys have been around for a while, asparagus, eventually it'll put up the shoots, but you don't eat them. They automatically start ferning out. It makes these ferns. I've done photos. You guys have seen them before in other videos. So anyways, I went out there and it was full of all these bugs, and I looked really close, and I don't know if you guys know what, I guess we're going to call them larvae, what ladybug larva looks like. They're little black things with dots on them. And now I got a whole bunch of ladybugs, just, I mean, like dozens and dozens. So it made me very happy. Hopefully they'll live here and we'll both live happily ever after. And again, this goes with organics, that I'm glad I have ladybugs, because you guys know they eat aphids and blah, 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 this whole circle of life thing. You got to figure out when you stop using chemicals. You see what I'm saying? Or hiring somebody to come spray chemicals or whatever. So nature has a way, and nature is always going to win in the end. So learning to adapt to it, learning to live with it, these are all good things. Now, this isn't basic emergency preparedness, guys. This is like somewhere up in here, depending on where you are in your journey. Yes? Yes. And now we're going to go from nature's probably always going to win to something I brought up about people not being outside and nature taking back over. So I talked to you about the snakes, that I average 3 snakes a year, but this year I've already gotten 5 plus 2 that I missed, so that's 7. And I was wondering where these snakes came from, because it was more. And so I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and this is what I mean about people not going outside and leaving stuff and nature taking back over. Is he was cleaning up his backyard for a birthday party, right? And he had a wheelbarrow that had been flipped over. Lots of people do that so it doesn't collect water. And it's been sitting there apparently for a while, because people just, they're inside. You know, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, good or bad. It's just the way of it. So anyways, they flipped over the wheelbarrow, and guess what they found? I don't know what you call it, a snake nest, a snake pit, a snake what the hell? I don't know. Huge snakes and tons of little baby snakes. That had been their snake nest. And apparently it was right after that that they'd flipped that thing over that I'd caught the extra snakes and found the extra snakes in my yard. Yes, so there was an answer. Yes, and nature takes back over. Yes, and people don't go outside. Yes. And while I'm kicking this dead horse, we'll go with one more thing. And that is, hold on, I gotta look at my notes. I just thought about it. And now, oh, yeah. So I talk about nature taking over. So I have magpies. And if you guys know, they're kind of an aggressive bird, and they're very territorial, and they attack the other really nice birds that I have. I have doves and the finches and all that good kind of stuff. And again, organically, I want to attract birds, so they eat bugs and they poo, and there's nitrogen and the circle of life and all this good kind of stuff. But I've been here for years, and twice I've seen a hawk. Once it actually flew at my neighbor, and he ran out and got his dog, his little dog. And he was like, "Did you see that hawk fly at me? And I had to bring my dog in." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then once all the birds, I was outside and all the birds got really quiet. And I was like, "Why did all the birds get quiet?" And then a hawk went and just flew through my yard and went off. And then like 5 minutes later, all the birds came back and they were doing their thing. But I live in suburbia, and we're talking about hawks. Yes? Yes. So I went outside, I think it was yesterday, day before. Nobody's outside, as I keep telling you. I'm out front, and I look at my neighbor's mailbox, and there's a hawk sitting on the top of it. And in its talons, it has a dove. It had taken out one of the doves and was sitting basically in suburbia on a mailbox, eating its kill. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? In suburbia, and then I don't live way the heck out in the middle of nowhere. And it just, in my mind, I'm like, the more I think about it, no one goes outside anymore. And nature will take back over. And I think, and again, in all the movies and books, you know, when there's no people or whatever in nature, I think it's going to happen a lot faster than people believe. Yes? Because nature's always going to win, but I think it's going to a lot faster than people believe. Just my thoughts, guys. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing it out there. It's an observation. All right, let's finish this up. I told you I was going to do I'm going to do a video about food and why people eat it no matter what it tastes like. And I mentioned I ordered a generator. My generator came in. Now it's still in the box. I'm not doing an unboxing video. But when I get a chance, I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to go over the instructions. And I went for one. It's dual fuel, which I may have mentioned, because it's regular gasoline, and then it's also propane. And then I got one of the quiet ones. So if you look, those things are kind of expensive, but I didn't pay that. I paid a good chunk of change as far as I'm concerned, but I didn't pay what I had to, and I'll go over that too. So yeah, I'm going to have to break it out, read the instructions. Rick, you do basic emergency preparedness, and this is Average Joe Preparedness channel, and you didn't have a generator? Yes, if you're new here, I mentioned it before. This is my journey. You guys are on it with me. Never had a generator. Now I have a dual fuel quiet one, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. Yes, and I let you guys know how hard it is for a normal person. It might be easier for you, it might be more difficult, but that's what you're getting, an average person. Yes? Yes. Okay, this video is already too long, which is the way of it. So we'll end it here. I hope this finds you well. I hope you are happy. I hope no matter what, you stay positive. And I also hope wherever you are on your journey and whatever you need to be prepared for, that you are being prepared.